Hey Rush, it's Reckless here, and welcome to Draft Battles Episode 3. As always, we have Freeloader here with us, and we're going to be analyzing this game played between Derk and UndeadGhost254. So, how are you feeling about these deck lists, Freeloader?
I really like the deck list. Both of these look like pretty good, drafted decks. You could even argue that they're just well-made equals decks in general. The one thing that has me a little worried about Undead Ghost deck is that it doesn't have a ton of cards for the opener. There's only 3 cards that cost 3 mana or less. One of them's Fort Tonic. I don't imagine you want to just chuck that out onto an empty board. So one of the things that I like to do when I'm looking at a pair of decks that are about to play a match is I ask who has to take the role, assume the role of the control, and who has to assume the role of the beatdown. And the way the decks are crafted kind of tells you who has to play more aggressively and who can afford to play for more late game value. In this case, I feel like Derk's deck, not only does it have a lot more opener potential, it also just, it has a couple of runners in Tiger and Butchers. I feel like his deck is slightly better crafted for being aggressive, but more importantly than that, with Undead Ghost sitting on Scrapped Planners, Windmakers, Fluffy Bad Boxers, True Shot Post, Victors of the Melee, and Twilight Prowlers over the top for more control. It just seems like if Derk can't get there early, he's going to have a really hard time late.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I also want to point out that True Shot Post is going to be very difficult for Derk to deal with here. I mean, you're going to have to consider holding onto execution or not. So we'll see how that plays out. If Undead Ghost can pull off a sweet True Shot Post in the early game, it's going to be very, very hard to pull back for Derk. We'll see how it plays out, however. So I think with all that being said, let's just jump into game number 1.
Okay, and we open with Undead Ghost at the bottom, Derk on top. Derk in his Shadowfen deck, Undead Ghost with his Ironclad. Derk gets to go first, shakes the hands, as all polite players should. You can already see we have a problem with Undead Ghost's opener. He does have a 4-mana card to play in Windmakers. I don't necessarily know. Yeah, it's not going to see a ton of value here. Derk with a
Actually, no, it kind of will. I mean, if you put down the Windmakers, you're almost guaranteed that it gets a trigger, no?
That's fair. But okay, and in fact, that's what Undead Ghost decided to do. I would have gone with Scrap Planners, but okay, sure.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think he just wants to hold on for Scrap Planners, extra value. That'd be really smart.
It does make sense. And in fact, it kind of incentivizes Derk here to have to play 2 small units and try to save his. Otherwise, it's not going to fare well. And interesting. Okay.
Oh my god, you don't expect these plays, but the Derk being a very top tier equals players is pretty funny.
That was excellent. It does open up a decent Ubis drop here. And in fact, that's where Undead Ghost is going to go.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yep. No, that works.
It's just one extra stat over Fluffy here, so.
Well, right.
But you lose out the movement, but I don't think he values it that movement in that kind of board, so this actually makes sense.
Yeah, he's already sitting on a lot of very good front, and it's going to be hard to remove a tank like that.
You have so many options in your hand, it's actually kind of ridiculous. You're like, okay, I'll just play Twilight here. Or, oh, I can just play Fluffy. It doesn't even matter.
So, yeah, this is a really good hand for Undead Ghost. Scrap Planners is a good option. I don't think we want Overchargers. That's probably... No, we're going to... Okay, we'll float the mana, or we're going to cycle afterwards. Okay, we're not cycling. Okay.
Yeah, that was a bit strange. I think I would have just Twilight there. Just for the one stat. Interesting.
And not floating the mana.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's okay.
I mean,
it's still a decent tank to hold, especially considering Derk needs to play defense along his baseline now to stop that Ubis from going into base, or potentially.
Oh, maybe this could be some weird big brain setup for Scrap Planners double trigger. Oh, okay, but Derk doesn't go for that. He just takes the damage.
Interesting. I actually like this play from Derk. Tiger's really hard to remove, and with a 5 health feline on the board, if it does get killed, and you low roll the damage, there's actually a decent target for it as well, right?
Yeah.
There's the
What do you
true
even-
shot.
What do you
This-
think you would play here, Freeloader?
Gosh,
Tough decision, actually.
it really is. Yeah, man, I wish I had a 3-drop to go with Scrap Planners, because I would just start putting more damage on Derk's baseline. Undead Ghost instead opts to go with the defensive play and kind of gets punished by it, because he didn't push front back. The spawn was just a really, really lucky spawn for Derk.
Mhm. I don't know. At like some point, you could also just play aggressive there. I
That's
mean,
what I
it
would
depends
apply.
though. Really, an aggressive like Twilight or
Well, no. I would
Kinda
have
hard
kept,
to
see, I
justify.
like keeping Twilight back as your sort of back pocket clear.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think Derk was going to be able to full base lock on 7 mana, so I hold back with that. Like I said, I would have loved to have had a 3 mana to play with the Scrapped, because then I would have gone all offensive with that set and just let Tigger do what Tigger's going to do.
Yeah,
Instead,
makes sense.
we have a very good play here with Victors. In fact, Undead cheers him on for it, but unfortunately that Victors plays into another Victors coming back the other way. It's the Victors of
just-
victory.
It's just like I think he's thinking, do I really want to take 4 damage to the face? Because like we mentioned before, Dirk's deck is pretty aggressive. I don't know how much you're willing to risk that.
I love putting Ebon Rock second, okay, or offensively is fine too, and then True Shot. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Going fully aggressive.
So I would have done the True Shot in front of the cats in column 4 on Undead's baseline, and then put the fort defensively second row column 2. Shadowfen notoriously struggles, right, with
Yeah. Yeah, I
towers.
think I actually agree. That probably is like the best play there, especially considering you have a lot of value just in the late game in general.
Now,
So the
remind me,
execution
does
does-
can clerics convert that cat?
No.
Okay.
Clerics can only convert a 1 strength.
It's only one
At
strength.
level 1.
Okay,
Actually, wait. Oh, I'm actually wrong. Is it 2 strength?
it might be.
Oh my goodness. I don't know my cards enough for this.
So Derk is trying to figure out what to do with the rest of his
It-
mana. He has to have a play with 4 more mana.
Yeah, my mistake. Yeah, I caught on to myself like as I said 1 strength. Yeah, it is 2 strength.
There we go.
My bad.
And he goes offensively with it. I like that play as well.
Makes sense.
Smart play to push it all the way to the other side. He knows Twilight Prowlers and Victors of the Melee are in the deck.
Yeah.
Rewarded.
This game's coming close. Honestly, I think I might have just put Beards like defensively in the second column.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
I think that's kind of what I would have done, but because like a part of you wants to obviously Victors on the right, but if you do that, you're probably gonna just lose. So you have to actually Victor on the left. Whoa, this is a bit ambitious. He's struggling with this one. See, like, what do you do?
Yeah, he is suffering a little bit with the mana curve of the deck. He's floating a lot of mana this game, and
Yeah.
he's almost constantly struggling with
Honestly, I would have played. Yeah, play Tonic. Okay, nice.
just to get
Just
it out
play
of
it.
my hand. Yep, I like the
Yeah.
play.
The sad, lonely Eben Rock doesn't get to
Mhm.
buff anything. So sad.
So-
This is dangerous though. 2 1 strengths on the board because
because
yeah, Butchers is
yeah.
ouch. Butchers
It's
is
also interesting to note that
painful.
had he chosen to play the Fort of Ebon Rock defensively, like I suggested, it
This
would
wouldn't be a
have
problem.
burfed. It would have buffed 2 units potentially. He could have put Ozone in
Yeah.
the second row.
Yeah, you're right. Not just that, he could have also maybe even defended against that 4 strength, and then he could just get a clean victors.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of reasons, but this aggressive Eben Rock might also be like worrying Derk here, because at 4 health, like it's not like the worst thing because there aren't many runners in Undead Ghost deck, but it is something definitely you want to worry about.
Oh,
Ooh,
man.
everything's just
Oh,
on
dear.
Dirk's side now.
Oh dear. Derk
Yeah.
turned this board around real quick. Now, he has not lost front because...
Oh my gosh, this Victor's value. Just so
Good.
gross.
Wait, but don't you want to... Might you want to Ubis?
I can't... the problem is... That's like never gonna happen though.
Well,
I don't think it would have happened.
no, it probably would not have happened.
And the thing is, you end up wasting the pings on the units that would have died anyways. That Victor's was just disgusting.
That was very good victors. Derk doesn't have...
Oh, but the even rock is dying now. Wow, that was such a bad turn for Derk. What?
Wait, he couldn't do anything else?
He wasted 4 mana. I don't even know. That's so weird. That is very weird. Maybe he got worried of like some kind of lethal, but this board is so bad now. Like it was so good for Derk 1 turn ago, and now it's just like very, very bad.
Yeah, I like this play, and I actually like Overchargers here.
Overchargers?
Yeah.
What? Really?
Yeah, Overchargers.
I think you just Ubas here, no?
You just want to
Get 2
here?
pings. I would Ubas.
Oh, okay. Well, this I definitely would not have done though.
Yeah, I don't think I would
of
have used
all
Fluffy
Yeah,
here.
of all the ones to use, I don't think I would have used Fluffy.
So Overchargers is 1 damage, and then you also have Windmakers for the runner as a runner. So you're still not even in range for lethal. Like Derk doesn't actually have to be so worried yet.
My thought was Overchargers means that the next time, if you can throw your Windmakers in, then after that it's just cycling back to Overchargers for the...
These turns are worrying me for Derk. Yeah, you're right. You can Overchargers and then cycle back to Overchargers and actually win. These turns are worrying me though.
Yeah, this is.
I'm not
this
sure.
Is not looking great. Okay, I really like Crowglyph here. If it's in your deck,
Yeah,
this is now the time to.
Yes, just do it.
And I love.
I think it's still. I would just Beards Ubas get at least 1 ping to the face. Overcharges Windmakers lethal.
Yep,
I think
like
that's the play. But
it's gonna make too big of a board to clear.
Yeah, exactly, and then you just get Overcharges Windmakers lethal. You also have Scrap Planners for front, Overcharges front. It's just looking really good. I don't think it's even that much to think about. I wonder what his thought process is.
The only other thought
here.
might be to try to put like Beards there. Then the question is, do you want to put Scrap on the far side? No, he decides to go with your play.
Yeah,
I think this is
just
a better
go
play.
Yeah,
this
you have
is great.
lethal potential now. Windmakers is drawn, and
We don't know
Windmaker's
where
not drawn
Crow's
yet.
gonna go. Oh no, Crows go
Oh my.
forward.
Yeah, it's even worse.
That's rough.
But I mean, yeah, that is
It was a
actually really
50-50.
bad.
It was a 50-50. You can't be too upset with that outcome. If it's a coin flip, it's a coin flip.
Derk's last like 2 to 3 turns have been very like
Oh no.
just not good.
And he was forced to use the
Okay,
execution.
wait, maybe he can't clear this either with 4 mana.
No.
So this is very close to lethal now. And he just used execution, true shot post comes down. I think this is actually a game in the bag already. The true shot post is uncontested and it's just
Maybe
game
that's
over
what-
at that point.
That must have been, to your point about Derk just trying to hold on to execution.
Yeah, but he was forced to use it here, as you can see.
Yes,
He had
the
really
last
like,
couple
no
of turns,
option.
he's had really bad turns where he has been floating mana. I bet you that's why. Is he was cycling another card, looking for whatever he could find to play, and wasn't getting it. And instead, what he had was,
Okay, I don't think this order is right. You should cycle first for potential lethal.
I think,
Like
that's true.
Windmakers might have been drawn there and just win. But I mean, this works too. I also don't really agree with the aggressive true shot here, but
It's fine.
I don't know.
I don't know how Derk can clear it.
yeah, it's gonna be obviously really hard, but it's just a little weird to me. You should just put true shot on the back. You're applying pressure in the front, and then you have applied pressure on the back, and there's really nothing that we can do. They don't have execution. Yeah, this is like
Right. This
kind of like staple idea. I was gonna say like once after Victor's comes out, it gets a lot of value. Not
Mhm.
much, but it does get something. I think he just loses anyway,
Yeah,
sadly.
I don't think Dirk can do enough here. Oh, geez, Spirit Bear Dragon. That's not gonna do
Yeah.
it. Oh, but Wandering
Uh,
Worm might.
no, but
No,
it
not
doesn't
enough.
do enough. Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it's too
game.
bad.
Okay.
That is game number 1.
Yeah, it really did come down to Dirk floating a lot of mana and playing so little in the late game. Playing 1 card a turn until he was forced, I think, to use the execution that he'd been sitting on. And, at that point, he kind of knew it had to be GG anyway. He needed to put more value down on the board, and his deck does kind of run thin on it at some points, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, with that, let's go right into game 2.
Sounds
And
good.
Here we are, game 2. Undead Ghost still at the bottom, up 1 game to nothing. Dirk gives him the handshake. Dirk gets to go first again. And he opens yet again with Harpies of the Hunt. So very similar looking opener to last game.
That is a very strong opening. So
No, it's
good on
great.
Derk for top decking these great openings, honestly. Very, very powerful. I just hope that this game Derek doesn't just get back-to-back terrible hands, because I think that the turn he played Victor's on 10 mana, that was it. That's when the game started going downhill.
I think you're right. So
was
the
like,
question is now, do we
Just true
want...
shot it. Actually, yeah, I think you
yeah,
just true
I think
shot
you do.
it.
I think you do. You just true shot here.
If they execute it, you can well, not really, but you could scrap planners into the 3 strength. But even then, that's not that good. Just Twilight, probably better.
Yeah.
I mean, you could Twilight, then scrap the turn after. So there's execute, the perfect counter.
Mm-hmm. So now both players know that it's on cycle with each other. We don't need Fort Tonic here. Okay, but we're going to keep it to cycle it after.
Yeah, it's a beautiful clear.
Pure
Twilight.
clear.
Why hold on to Tonic though? That's
I'm
a bit
not sure.
strange.
You just played one of your 2 towers. You don't have
Any
anything
setup for it.
Right.
Yeah, I would cycle that fast cycle for true shot if anything.
Agreed.
That's interesting.
Okay.
Because now you're gonna cycle it anyways, right?
I
So
assume so.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, now I guess you.
I mean,
Yeah, this is fine. You can scrap.
Overchargers even.
Really?
I think he's just worried about the deal damage part of the Tagore.
Sure.
If the deal damage part comes out, overcharges is better.
Yep.
But scrap planners, like you said, is obviously just more value. So it's kind of a tough decision because it's a 50-50 there.
Yeah, this is where Dirk's deck can start to snowball a little bit.
Oh shoot! Yeah,
when
dragons.
Tiger or Wandering Worms is out, this, oh my gosh,
that is disgusting. Oh
well,
my
this game
goodness.
turned really quick.
That is disgusting.
All right, we have a pair of 4s in our hand and 8 mana to play with. I recommend we do that.
Yeah, me too.
That seems good.
Okay, so Derek he actually sealed, he closed up the late game part here now with overchargers at 5 strength for 4 mana, and then a bonus effect. It's actually very powerful. He has a better late game potential now. And also this game, like you mentioned, the true shot and the execution are on cycle. They're cycled once together, so it's gonna be difficult to actually set down a true shot this game. If anything, you actually cycle it out, and then you just force Dirk to hold it in his hand. It's all a mind game, really.
Well, exactly. I think that's what happened last game, and it worked to Undead Ghost's advantage.
Actually, you're right. Yeah, you're probably right about that. Yeah, Boomstick is that value is actually pretty good.
So good.
It's so powerful. This hand is not looking too great.
I mean, I don't dislike Victor's here.
Yeah, that's true.
Do we like
Victor's and Twilight here actually have the same value. Value-wise, it's the same because it's both 7. I think I would actually just Victor's Even Rock hold Twilight. Whoa.
Oh.
This is super aggressive.
Well, so Undead might be concerned, like you said, about there's a pair of runners plus now overchargers. This game's got to go faster. I just don't know that Undead has the deck to play this aggressively.
Yeah, I mean, even keeping them, if that Fluffy walks in, 3 health is not enough. Like for you don't have the runners to do that.
No, you do not.
You need another Overchargers and Windmakers. That's
a big ask.
This is like the game turning. The turning point of the game here. Oh, this is gonna be painful.
That is such a good combo in this.
Oh, this is gonna be painful.
Oh, and he's gonna take out the tower. Okay.
Let's see what happens. It's all RNG. Oh, that was such a bad bounce actually. Deal 5 to a 1-string.
I know. Any buff would have been ridiculous. Maybe
Victor is so good here. Oh, but you don't have a follow-up play. Like that's definitely the problem. You see, if you played Victor's last turn, I think last turn you could have played Victor's into Even Rock, and then Fluffy True Shot at least has some, like, it's perfect on mana. But this is just not looking good. You have to play this defensively, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think you have to play defensively.
Okay, but not, I don't think like that. Actually, I don't know. You can actually afford to do that. Yeah, I guess that actually can work.
I would have been okay with playing it in the second row because you are sitting on Twilight Prowlers.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
So theoretically, you're not worried about sitting in something getting tucked in the corner, especially something with such little amount of health.
The only problem with the second, you said second row or second column? Sorry, or second row and column.
Yeah, second row and column would have been fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh. So the only problem I see with that is if the enemy did a 1 movement into it, then your Twilight is. I mean, you're gonna need something else to clear that, and then Twilight for the
correct. But you have 11 mana, so you should have one of your 4s back. And in fact, in this
that's
case,
true. Okay, well here you should cycle True Shot. I don't think it sees play.
I think that's correct.
You set it down, then Execution comes out, and they're winning the mana trade there.
Do you want to play Overcharger?
Yes, cycle it. Okay, this is smart.
Or Ubas.
This can be greedy. I mean, Ubas is just better in stats, no? Okay, wait.
I would think so, but I think he's really worried about runners right now. He just saw Butchers. He's now within Tiger range, so I think he's trying to... He after going so aggressive for a while, he then lost complete control over the board and is now going back to trying to play defensively.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, shoot, the Overcharge is going to come out soon.
No.
The second Harvester is scrap planners.
Yeah, this is just bad news for Undead Ghost. He really needs and the Wandering Worms combo again.
That combo is actually disgusting.
It's doing yeoman's work here.
Yeah, you need something. You need to pull out something like some magic trick. I mean, you can also Windmaker's bottom left. Actually, it doesn't.
Here, I think I Overchargers, Ubis, Fort of Ebonrock, all obviously all on your second row.
It's just that the Windmakers are like this. It can, assuming it actually, yeah, I think this is better. You can just clog the row, the third row here, center row.
Yeah, but you can't do.
Like I wouldn't do this play.
Yeah,
It should be a little too aggressive. You could even rock 1 tile to the left and then Ubas 1 tile to the right of that, trying to block the opponent from ever moving forward.
Right.
And also your Windmakers is tucked to the bottom left. There's just so many reasons why I think that was better.
The Windmakers would have been protected. As it stands now,
it's a little protected, but not really.
Victors of the Melee is a card in the... Well, I guess Victors was always going to be a concern.
Yeah, that's true. Victors is always a concern. Oh, this is not looking good.
No, if he has Victors, this might just be GG right here. Clerics with Cords? Okay.
Clerics is so much value. Think about the 4 mana for 7 there. Even the Wetlands thing. Oh, but he killed his own unit, which kind of sucks.
I think it's okay at this point. Oh, dear.
He could have actually played Wetland first, right? And then he would have saved his unit, actually. He did it that way. But he wouldn't get the Overchargers. Yeah, that's why he played it that way. He wanted to get that 1 damage from Overchargers, I guess.
Yep.
But I don't think that matters that much, but I don't know. Okay, here you can actually block the second row now, and you can get a Victors right there on the 3rd column.
I like it.
I think I would put Victors there.
Yeah, that would have been Victors. Yep, that should have been Victors for sure.
Yeah, that should have been Victors on that side.
Yeah, 100%.
and Fluffy on the other side. Oh, it
Mhm.
would have been so good. But I mean, okay, he's actually what? Okay, I don't
There's
think
no-
he. Okay, so Undead Ghost, like from what we're seeing here, I don't think he understands
how it works.
planning out the turn a little bit further ahead because right now he's not defending at all.
Yeah.
But the play that we were thinking of was at least a little bit defensive. I mean, execution with a runner would still lose the game for you, but it's at least considering the fact they need another card to win that. So
all right.
that's a bit too bad.
Yeah, I think where game 2 kind of got away from Undead Ghost, he had very good control early, but he kind of forgot his role in this matchup. His deck is the controlling deck. He needed to continue to play control and just outvalue Derk, but instead he chose not to make the trades and instead to try to go offensive, and his deck's just too slow. So Derk was able to take out a big chunk of his life and kind of push Undead Ghost back.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to come back from that kind of a thing. So we're gonna slide into game 3 here. Derk got to go first in all 3 games. This man is a giant.
He's just
Do you think he
cheating.
has
the
Harpies
system.
again?
And then he has
Is it?
Harpies again.
No.
Oh, he does the handshake. He's doing it like literally the same routine. He's like handshaking, getting the Harpies like top deck right here.
Right,
Boom.
you handshake first, then you cycle to your Harpies. That's. Oh my god, he did it!
Oh my! He's actually cheating. I'm banning this guy.
Oh my gosh! So we don't need Fort Tonic again. Yeah, we'll cycle it again. The Windmaker's play last time was very good.
Oh
I like
my-
going for.
Are we watching the same game?
It feels like it, doesn't it?
Oh my goodness.
Wait, we seriously might be. Wait a minute. Are we? We'll find out in a minute. If he puts the Melodious Sisters behind the Harpies, then yes, somehow we're back to game.
This is game 1.
It is. Oh,
Oh,
wait.
this
Yeah,
is
okay,
game
this is game 1.
Oh, that's actually so funny.
Okay, hold on. Well, so you'll just
Okay.
edit this out, right? All right, so here we are in game 3. Both players have won a game now. Somehow Derk gets to go first again. I don't understand how. But this time, finally, he doesn't have Harpies of the Hunt and instead just opens with a simple Spare Dragon Link. Both players shake hands.
Yeah, if you notice what happened though, he didn't shake hands first. You see, he did some other like, was like scared.
Yeah, he definitely should have shaken hands first and then gone through his cycle. That would have guaranteed Harpies in hand again. Wetland
Yeah.
Deceivers doesn't feel great on 4 mana, but it's at least more stats on the board. We've decided that we're going to go with Fluffy. Where are we going to go? Okay, into column 1. A lot of
Okay.
value on the board right now for Undead Ghost.
So how are you feeling about this one? This is a very close match, honestly. First game, Undead Ghost took it away. Second game, Derk played very well. Very good draws as well. And then what about this one? How are you feeling about this one?
Well, so Derk's advantage is that he can open faster, but he didn't. He really kind of dudded Spare Dragonling and now Wetland Deceivers.
Yeah.
Isn't a ton of value. And now I feel like he's kind of on his back foot a little bit. He has to play defense here into a Fluffy Bad Boxers, and with only 5 mana on the board, this is not going to be easy.
Yeah, 100% agree here. Oh man, this isn't be bad. He's been playing 1 mana off like every single turn. He played 2 mana on 3 mana, 3 mana on 4 mana, and then 4 mana on 5 mana. So he's been wasting a lot of mana here.
I actually just like Ubis in column. Okay, no, we can do this too.
I think I would agree with your play though. Ubas, yeah. I
Ubis
think it's
in column 2, just defending, right? Just put something
Yeah.
big that you get 2 pings out of it. Seems good.
yeah, 100% actually. 100%. And then you can he like kind of thought about it, but no, I think you're right. The Ubas is better here.
Yeah.
Keeping the Twilight for defense is definitely better.
Right. So whenever I'm sitting on a super powerful defensive card like Twilight or Tuxac, those are the times where I feel the most boldened, right? I'm emboldened. I can be aggressive this turn because I have something next turn that is going to bail me out if I get in trouble. That worked out very well for Undead Ghost, though. He did take 4 from it, but he's now in an excellent position, I feel. He doesn't quite have
It's
enough
one of-
mana, though.
I just want to point out that Dirk, I think this is like Dirk realizes he's not going to win this game if he plays it slow at that point with the Twilight value and that's fluffy. So he went fully aggressive there, maybe trying to clutch some kind of win with the Butchers or something. I'm not sure. Or at least trying to scare him a bit.
Imagine where we would be if Ubis had been played last turn, and then you had Twilight right now.
Yeah, the game would just be over.
Well, not
the game would just be over. Like, it'd pretty much be over, I think, like, no question. You have, because if you have Twilight now, after the Ubes, depending on how many Ubes pings came off, like, you could have just won.
I agree.
Is this still a good setup for victors?
It's not bad. Yep.
Yeah, but it's like you mentioned, it's so hard to play on curve with this kind of deck. Like, 8 mana, you're probably going to be using a 6 mana here. Or you of course, can use your 2/4 manas. Booming is, look at that value.
The full clear.
That was actually very nice. That is the same value as a Twilight there. 5+2.
Yep.
Wow. That's hilarious. It's just a bit more situational, of course, so it's harder to pull off, but just imagine if you get the full value from the effect, that's insane.
That would have been fantastic. Okay, so we're actually going to not float mana here. I actually like this play. I would have done it in the other order, so that I would have had...
But yeah, the other order was a lot better. I think in Undead Ghost's mind, he saw that like three strength into the scrap planners is just more value, but realistically, like, you would have triggered the Windmaker's effect, which inherently is more value and playing up front a bit more. Like, you at least get 2 units on the second row here.
Right. As this stands, you've got 1 unit on your baseline, which is going to take a long time to get all the way down. And the other unit is so small in the middle row that I don't know that it... Wow.
Execution. That's so bad. But it's so funny. After the first game, you can see how... Or actually, I guess after the first game and a little bit of the second game, both players have been like really just... playing these true shot versus execution game. It's just like, it doesn't exist. It's non-existent. You have a pretty beautiful play here. Fluffy overchargers almost, I would just say, seals the game. You just need to cycle back for Windmakers and you win. So actually, when you're playing aggressive like this, believe it or not, the way I see it at least, is you want to use your overchargers on the right-hand side because you want to bait them into attacking the weak unit. Like here, it doesn't matter because Victor comes out anyways.
Yep.
But you actually want to play using your weakest unit as the defender. Like even if Wetland came out there, it's still fine because there's nowhere to put the Wetlands. Actually, there would be, but it would have been in front of your stronger unit, which once again could show more value. Could see more value.
This is an interesting dilemma. I guess, yeah, this is fine. We go up and then we just throw fort down.
Fort here.
Okay.
I don't think so, but if you want to hold front for Windmakers, yeah.
This is
okay.
I guess. This is okay. In fact, now we have Ubis potential.
Lethal, yeah. This is so funny. Ubis is kind of, in my opinion at least, like low rated in the equals format. Like it's not the worst, but it's not like the best either.
Correct.
It's hard to make good use out of it. Like Fluffy's just, you just put it down.
Fluffy's just a tank. It's hard to remove once it's on the board.
Exactly. It's just so powerful. Put it down.
Unless your opponent has level 2 Fluffy. And then, it's an easy trade for them. Wandering Worms, I have to...
This is a bit too slow, though.
It is.
But... You need something. Oh, Raven. Oh, okay, Cleric. Yeah, it's not bad.
I have to compliment Derk on
you have some potential lethal here, but Victor's just comes out and wins. No, it doesn't win the game because it will buff will buff the dragon there. Interesting.
Scrapped first. Okay. Well, I really like this. This is to prevent the
yeah, that's actually smart.
Like
that's the right order. This is very good actually, and you're also playing defensive here. Even though you don't need to, it is still pretty good. This is going to be the game turning point now, like the turning point of the game. Sorry. How do you even deal with this? Like, it's not easy. It's not easy. You played played Victors recently too, so not easy.
Foot's in the other shoe now, according to Reckless.
I'm just waiting for the Windmaker's lethal, I think. Like
Yeah,
that's all I'm betting on.
The
You also have a disc. Oh, you have a gross play. You can actually ozone the bottom left unit into the enemy base, like towards enemy base, and then just Windmaker's there. Like I'm just saying,
Yep.
I guess maybe it's just an opening that you might need to pull out, but it's unlikely. But
That was a terrible spawn. Now the victors of melee is actually going to get value.
that is so
That was
sad.
rough. Okay, so this is gonna be it. I don't
He's
think
gonna play
there's-
defensive, right? Yeah.
there's-
This is what I'm saying. The ozone Windmakers is lethal here. Oh, but you have Waitland. Okay, please do the clean. Please do the
Windmaker's in the
the
corner.
gangster
Game's over.
lethal. Do the gangster lethal.
Gangster. You don't
No.
need to. Just end the game.
It's just so funny though. All right, he still wins, but come on, he could have done the gangster lethal.
That was an excellent game. I was really impressed at how Derk was always able to get Wandering Worms value. That was an insane amount of work he put in to get those cards onto cycle every game.
Yeah, 100%. The second game was actually a little sad, or sorry, was it the first? Sorry, the first game that was really sad for Derk. How he kept just wasting his mana like every turn. It was just so. It wasn't like just bad cards, and then there's nothing he could play. And like you mentioned before, Undead Ghost deck is just super strong in value, like value wise. Just play something and just throw it on the board, slap it on the board, and you're just good to go.
There was definitely a game within the game of cat and mouse with True Shot Execution. I thought it was very interesting how Undead Ghost played True Shot early in a game or two, kind of tested the waters, dipped his toe in. Is it warm? Do I want to go, head first into this pool kind of thing? And then when he saw that Derk had execution on cycle with it, we just never saw a True Shot again. We said, oh, okay, well, when you cycle back around to execution, Derk, I bet you're gonna sit on it waiting for my True Shot. I'm just gonna cycle mine away, and I'm gonna forget that I even have it in the deck because the whole rest of my deck has so much value. I don't need True Shot.
Yeah, exactly. The psychological game here was pretty intense, actually. I'm more than sure Derk had to sit on the execution for over like 2 turns, and that's what causes bad hands. Bad hands.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's what really hurt in game 1. I think in game 2, Derk just kind of said, "Let's go ham," and unfortunately, I think Derk realized going ham was the right way to go, but his opener in game 3 was just nowhere near enough value to be able to really push down the board.
Yeah, pretty much. Unfortunate, like you mentioned, just bad hands, honestly. I think it was mostly bad hands. It could have also been like missed cycles, but I kind of doubt that. I think it was just very bad hands. And there's not enough value in your deck compared to Undead Ghost. Overall, both played very well, though. Can't discredit any of them for that.
Yeah.
Very fun to watch, actually. I really like those games, how they played out.
Yeah, me too. That was a lot of fun to do. And I should say thank you very much for the invitation to do it again.
No worries. Having lots of fun. And I hope you guys are all having fun as well, watching all these commentated matches. So I think that's going to close. I think that's going to end this video here. And I hope you guys all enjoyed watching. And we'll be doing a few more of these until the finals. And then we'll see what happens. Who's going to take the crown of the Draftbound tournament.